Hey everybody, Dennis from Ace Bubba's coming at you here. And today I have another one of my beautiful Bellum Brazils. These are, Rio Bravo, the real deal. These came from the Diaz's with a signed letter. And the Diaz's, that we all know, got them from Gus. So him and Vin are the two that I think. And I think Tommy, to a lesser degree, got most of the stuff from Gus at the time when he left. But these are 100% the real deal ones I have, and they are absolutely stunning in my opinion. And that goes back to the old saying, right? If a breeder has an opinion that their animals aren't stunning, then why would they own it? That's part of the interest factor in the animal too. But these Bellum Brazils that I have, I got to say, I was blessed on these. Very, 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 very lucky. To me, they are absolutely incredible species of animal. But anyhow, today's video is going to be on different, I guess you could say, tools per se that I use with my boas. Common stuff that I use almost every day, so I'd refer to them as a tool. Let me see if I can get a little bit of a better angle on a snake. I don't know. I got my counter behind me there loaded with stuff from I had mentioned in a previous video, my dog is just diagnosed with diabetes, one of my older dogs, so. But anyhow, on to today's video topic, which is stuff I use in boa keeping, or tools we could call them. I forewarn you, some of them seem super simple, but they work for me. Some of these you may only need if you're older. Although I think some of them can't hurt you even if you're younger. You'll see what I mean as I go over them. I guess we'll start, right? Tool number one for me. Not number one use, just tool number one, being that we're going on being half age, or as I'm about to say, half blind. That should give you a clue. Would be the magnifying glass. I use this on any and all boas that come in outside and check them for possible, mites, whatever not. I can use it to check a scale maybe that looks not right to me, or something not right in the animal, and I need to get a really good view of it with these eyes. This is the way to go. It's funny I say that, because even when I was young, when I had berms, I was like, I don't know, 19 years old, I would use this once in a blue. I found on a brown cover berm that mites could hide a little easier. I found them even then a little tougher to see. But I do use that as my first form of confirmation, and for stuff that I need to see well. Maybe you could use it for studying the bottom of a white water bowl. That'll also show them up, and then you can use that to see the little black dots. You may not even need that with a white bottom water bowl. Another thing I use in conjunction with that, which I don't have here, which I would kind of call a tool, right? For me, it's also, of course, just a part of a common cleaning process, but paper towel. Sometimes when I first get an animal in, I'm saying sometimes, it's all the time, I'll brush that paper towel from head down to the bottom. I'll wrap it and let the snake crawl through my hand, and I'll pop it open outside, and I'll use the magnifying glass over that paper towel. And on a white non-printed paper towel, there's a good chance that there's mites to any amount, you're going to see them on there. Now, it'd be different if it just had eggs on it. You wouldn't spot them, and that's why you do a quarantine to begin with. But I consider them both a tool. God forbid my main collection, if I had a question, those were the two steps I would take. Amongst much paranoia, because it was in my main collection, I got problems because there's tons of animals to treat. That's probably why I go so overboard on making sure animals are clean long before they get up there. Once again, it's not part of a tool, but while we're on the subject of what those tools are used for, I do keep all animals minimum 3 months in quarantine because I don't want that headache. Next tool I use a lot of, white dock or painter's tape. Painter's tape is probably even better. I use it on the side of my cages, and I'll mark what the cage is, what's in it, and the cage number. That way I can refer back to the thermostat. I've seen much more elaborate setups for that are way better than my simple archaic setup. But again, it's a tool that works for me. Painter's tape, which is even better, or just white dock. And then on that, I use another tool to mark. Black permanent marker. This one may be Rio Bravo Bellum. Female number 3, thermostat number 5. Female meaning because I have more than one of them. Rio Bravo female Bellums. She would be the number 3 female, so there would be a 1 and 2 in other ones, and then their thermostat numbers would naturally be different. That way I know what ports it's going into. I also use that tape, or painter's tape, even easier, where the thermostat comes out from the cage, the wire, and where it connects into the port. So now I have two references, right? I have the painter's tape or the white duct tape with the thermostat number, and then I have the thermostat number also on the wire where it goes into the port taped around, and on the cage where it comes out of the cage taped around. So that's like 3 points of reference for one cage. But that's just how I do it. Could it be overkill? Absolutely. But that's how I do it. Because once again, I see the more elaborate setups, a great wire management. I'll be the first to admit, while you can't see them, I do not have great wire management, except for that. That's what I use. Some people have them so darn neat along wire travelers, the clips, that you wouldn't need any of that because you could trace it right back in a second. I can't. Mine are up against walls. It's a little tougher. The walls hide the wires. The wires tend to get conjunctions back there, and it's much easier to do it the way that I'm doing it for me. Another one, simple index cards. I use them all the time. On an index card, you can write whatever you need to. You know, you can write down your feedings, your shed dates, your bathroom dates. If you're extreme as me, I try to keep everything as close as I can. I do run 2 checks a day in my boas, so that is another one that I use quite often. I will refer to quite often. Now, could I be off on a feces or on a urate by a day? I'm sure I could be. Urate's honestly I don't write down, but you know, feces I do. So I try to stay as close as I can, as often as I can. Sheds I do. Feedings I do. God forbid a regurg or anything like that. It's definitely going on there. It's a great reference sheet, and you can keep them. You can either keep them in a book with the cage numbers that are on this, like I said, or you can put them right inside of the cage. You can use there's plastic holders with Velcro. There's plastic holders with like a double sticky tape on them. Whatever it takes, I use the holders. And it just keeps the info for the snake, and it keeps it right handy, and you can get to it quickly without fumbling around. And once again, as you build up to, 30, 40, 50 animals, more simplicity is better for you. Trust me. You'll know when you get there if you don't do it. Another one, you're going to get a real laugh at this, right? Because I got some animals that are 9 foot. Look at this little one. But that's all I use. Just to let the animal know I'm coming in. Maybe to reach in and grab a water bowl real quick. Would a bigger one work? Absolutely. Why do I not like the bigger ones? Well, first of all, for me, I believe a bigger animal, you got to watch her ribs, things like that. I don't ever really hook an animal out. I know it's a practice, so a hook is definitely a tool that should be used. I know the bigger ones are a practice. If used correctly, will not break a rib. I'm not saying they will. If used correctly, they will not. I just find for me, no need for a bigger one. Once in a while, I use that to reach in and grab a water bowl if I need to and slide it back for an animal that they just don't want to be bothered. Because sometimes these animals that are great, even this one, right? Perfect. I may go in there a day and it's just like a human, having a bad day. I don't want to be bothered. So I'll slide the water bowl out with that, fill up the water and put it back in. And it won't be bothered. Just what it asks for. Another one, urates. If you leave them too long, you're going to have to use this all the time. Don't need it much. But sometimes, you do a cleaning and the day after there's urate in there, may got underneath the newspaper, underneath the substrate. You're doing substrate cleaning, which is your deep cleaning. There was 1 or 2 underneath there, or 3 that you didn't see. This will pop it right off if need be. Get along, slide it along there, pop it right off. Some people say overkill. Just get it off the best you can. That's good enough. They don't need a perfectly sterile environment. I agree with that, but I like to pop them off. There's plenty of stuff left in there that we don't see. So I like to pop them off, get them cleaned up. And that works for me. Another one, of course, is spray bottles. All sorts. You can use them for water. You could use them. This one happens to be a cleaner, written in black, cleaner. I write it all over them. I use different colors for water. Water is red or blue, I believe. Black is always a cleaner. This one happened to be F10, but I have several of them up there. I have F10. I have water. I have Dawn and soap, I believe, in one. And in one, I believe I have chlorhexamine. So that's, they're all different colors, so I know what's what. I definitely advise on cover coating. I mentioned this before. You're going to grab the wrong one and think you're soaking down a snake that's about to shed. And next thing you notice, you're spraying, whatever, F10 all over it. Not a good situation. Some people keep vinegar in them and whatever not, but water bottle is definitely usable for everybody, I would say. Another one, yes, I'm going to say it. Some of you are going to bust chops. A glove. Once in a while, they're needed. I can tell you when I definitely use one. When I'm bringing out a boa that just gave birth, I'm going in there with at least one hand with a glove. Gloves do not grip the best, so that's why I say at least one hand with a glove, because I need the other hand to really grip. That's not going to grip. They'll slide right out of it and causes more chaos than it's worth. But it'll help if you get that initial strike. So I have no shame to say I have actually 2 pairs up there on different sides of that room. I got a pair down in Saddlebrook. So most of these tools I'm showing you, I got 2-3 sets of, because I keep snakes in a second place, as I said. And I have 2 rooms here, so I'm going to eventually join them all. I'm working on it. But that may even wait to New York State. I don't know. Then lastly, another one I find extremely useful. I think everybody should have one. A temp gun. Temp guns are great. They do so much. Every cleaning, I like to close up after I clean. I use separate tubs. I like to close up the cage so they get up the temp and check it before the animal goes back in to make sure it's working. It's common practice. I use it a lot this time of year, right? During breeding season, make sure something's gravid. Make sure I can pick up a temp that's gravid on an animal. An animal that is gravid, check the temp where it's warm to make sure that you're getting at least whatever you choose. 88 to 90. I prefer to higher because I make sure my animal can get off of it. And the animal will know where it wants to go from there for sure. So definitely a valuable tool. Also, like in the beginning of the season when I'm dropping temps, I make sure that my night temps, my day temps come where they need to be. I'm getting the swing I want, and that's that for these. So that about wraps up all the tools I use, that I can think of right offhand constantly. Hopefully some of that helps you out a little bit. And, the bellum's going to go back up. I'm getting excited. The weather today out there is about 52. Pretty soon we'll be outdoors and we'll be able to do some talking about the individual species. It's funny, if you notice my videos, you'd be like, everybody's like, Ace, you're really known for BCC. Where's all your BCC stuff? Probably 60% of what I own, period. BCC, BCI, Sigma are all breeding. So I can't, I'm not going to bring them off their breedings just to do a video. I can't. But again, when the weather gets nice, the breedings will be all over probably by mid-May, maybe early June, and we'll be able to see all these animals. I have them all out, big and small. I know some of you are looking forward to see the big BCCs, and you will get to see that, Right now, last night, I believe, 100% just about, I have help me cheat, I seen a swelling, I'd say about a week ago maybe, maybe 10 days ago, a week, on a Barranquilla boa. And I, last night, noticed its eyes all clouded, and I noticed the male on the other side of the cage, kind of not doing his thing, telltale signs. Well, I left the male in there to be sure. I hit it with a gun, 86.5. Sounds promising. So my guess is, there's a perfect example of my gun, and my guess, that is a post-ovulation shed, and she is now gravid. So again, I think I have a confirmation on the first for me this year that I'm aware of now, possibly the second, Barranquilla boa. This time, and the other one is a Tarahumara. The BCC I have are all doing fantastic. They're breeding like mad. I can't wait to these bellums get their shot, man. I know there's a lot of people can't wait for that. I know there's a lot of people super excited about the Perus I got together. I'm super excited about them too. I got Guyana. I got a few Surinames. I got the Barranquillas. I got Coral K. I got K Corkers. I got Tarahumaras. I got a bunch of stuff together. It should be a great year. Please, everybody, if you watch the video, subscribe, like and subscribe. I could use your support. I never go monetary. It's not my thing. I don't think I'll ever get there. I have to worry about it because I don't edit nothing. And I'm just here mainly information purposes, giving back. I got my following over on Facebook, but I'd love to build any which way I can. And without your help, I can't do that, because I always say this. Big thing you always get from me. Without you, there's no me. Period. It's easy as that. I get to enjoy this passion and get to enjoy this hobby and get the support through you. Without you, there's no me. All right. Again, from Ace Boas. Till next time, thank you all. Thanks for your support.